Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the show Man of Steel.
You will not win. For every human you save, we will kill 1 million more.
I'm Darian, and to the left of me here is...
Father Gerard Tangchun O'Connor.
Right. So we're just going to be... So today we're going to give you a little briefing of the story of Superman. So Superman was an extraterrestrial sent down from the land of Krypton, and then he was sent to Earth, where he was adopted by some local humans, and I guess you'll know them as the Kents. And then he got his name Clark Kent, moving away from the name Kal-El.
Well, first of all, I'm a huge Superman fan. So anybody who looks at my closet will see about 6 Superman T-shirts of different colors. So I grew up with the Justice League and watching Superman with Christopher Reeve and some of the others. The last time they tried to reboot this in 2006, I thought it was horrible. I was very disappointed in that version. So that's just the Superman movie we will not name. But we also have this one, Man of Steel. Now, this created a bit of, controversy in the beginning, because you have a British actor playing a classic American hero, Henry Cavill, who I do believe is Catholic. He, to me, for the first time, shows both physically and facially something that looks like what you see in the comics. So to me, physically, he looked like Superman. Okay. I liked the movie. Actually, overall, I gave it maybe 4.5 out of 5 stars.
4.5
out of 5 stars.
I think that's a little bit too high,
Yeah, but this is why I liked it. First of all, this was the first time we saw the background to what Krypton looked like. You didn't really see that in the other movies. Others, it was kind of more everything is white, and you see everything is like glass. You actually see the rationale behind why Jor-El, the father, played by Russell Crowe, sent his son into another planet, Earth, and it actually had a lot of messianic stuff too, which I think they highlighted in the movie. So, for instance, they highlight the point that Kal-El is 33 when he is about to reveal who he is. He does so in a church, so that's reminiscent of Jesus revealing himself at the baptism, for instance.
Right.
In the church, in the background, if you notice, there was a scene there where it's Jesus in the agony of the garden, at prayer. So it's like an agonizing moment for him when General Zod forces him to reveal himself for the sake of the planet. And then in looks and the fact that he is willing to sacrifice himself to save humanity. Sometimes when they show him falling, he's actually in the shape of a cross. So the sacrificial elements to me make it look like.
I totally agree there. It was quite interesting how they brought about all of that, and he went to a priest to reveal himself.
And even in the beginning of the movie, when she's in labor, the mother Lara, it's in a cave. So it's reminiscent of even Jesus being born in a cave. So I think they really fleshed out a lot of the messianic elements, which were always part of the Superman.
But just in the beginning there alone, some things were quite unbelievable. Because, if he was a big general, why was he living in this cave that, empty, and it didn't have much color and things like that. But when we see other areas, it was a little bit more.
I think you saw the other areas. You saw the general council where people were meeting. So I don't know if you really saw the different houses. So it's hard to gauge what it looked like. Maybe it was dark, maybe it was nighttime, and you didn't really see what things look like. But I thought it was a good story. I thought the acting was good. Russell Crowe I thought was excellent.
Right.
Henry Cavill to me was excellent. I did think they had a little bit too much maybe violence. I think they focused on a lot of buildings getting destroyed. A lot Hollywood, I guess.
But that's what we look for. That's what all the young people look for, right?
I suppose, yeah. But someone said if this actually happened in real life, much more people would have died in 9/11. They estimate about 100,000 people would have died. And then,
I don't know. Maybe an evacuation took place just before,
Yeah, maybe the Dark Knight was there, Superman, somebody.
Exactly.
The Avengers, maybe.
We had to
who knows?
jump through and went and save all these people and take them out.
What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was okay. The movie,
Just
you know,
okay?
it was okay. Some parts were a bit unbelievable, like when Superman learned to fly.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you jump, and then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I can fly. That was a shock to me. It had some parts that were a bit slow and where they were taking a little bit too long to develop the story and stuff. And then the acting was good, yeah, but in terms of like a flowing storyline and a packed storyline or something to hold constant interest there, sometimes it lacked to me. Yeah, but in terms of like the comparisons to Jesus, I would say, you know, it was pretty good. It was pretty spot on and stuff. But at the end of the day, Superman can never match up to Jesus at all.
Well, no,
Yeah,
of course
yeah.
not. No.
So you know they tried.
Jesus is really the real,
the real
hero, you know. Yeah, so.
But they tried,
and he's more powerful than Superman.
Exactly, and
Kryptonite doesn't affect Jesus, you know.
And Superman would, in another way, Jesus would never kill somebody, you know, down to the end there where he snapped the neck. I mean, that was that was uncalled for.
Well, I think there were some controversial elements there.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said about the learning to fly, actually in the beginning, apparently, in the whole Superman genre, Superman actually used to leap like tall buildings in a single bound, right? So I think it evolved into him flying. So I think they were trying to show that, you know, in that, even though it was kind of fast track, yes, but that's what they tried to show.
They sped it up.
David Goyer had this. He did the screenplay and with a lot of the direction together with Chris Nolan and others. And I think their thing was doing like a back and forth kind of like flashbacks, so that people already knew the storyline, but just to familiarize themselves with the thing. In terms of him killing somebody, it was actually because Superman traditionally does not kill anybody. That was a controversial thing, but they felt they wanted to show why Superman did not want to kill somebody, and so it was his reluctance to kill and eventually doing it, and the regret from that is supposed to lay the foundation for him refusing to kill anybody in the future.
I think the other thing is that you know, he was after that big fight scenario where they're going through buildings and all over, I found General Zod, it was too easy. It was too easy, you know, your big general, all of that. They could have come up with something a little bit more creative, like how Kryptonite would be Superman's weakness. It should have had something that could have brought him down a little bit better than this. Yeah. You know, straight out.
Well, I found it interesting that, you know, because General Zod didn't come by himself. He came with a couple of other bad guys who also had superpowers.
Right.
So you would have thought that they would all, you know, ganged up on Superman, you know, but that didn't happen. So I guess they didn't have enough money.
So now you see what I was speaking about when I said that it lacked some places.
Well, that's what gave it 4.5.
Yeah, 4.5.
Yeah. You see, I saw it on IMAX, and this is actually the very first movie I saw on IMAX. Right. By Woodbrook, number one place Woodbrook.
Yeah, one Woodbrook place.
Yeah, you know, us old people, we can't remember some of these places. Anyway, and it was so fantastic, the screen and catching everything there. I was just amazed by, you know.
Yeah.
And I thought there were quite a couple of nice cinematographic panoramic shots. So for instance, when he's flying and they show the planet, the beautiful blue planet there, and I thought that was, some of the scenes were quite beautiful.
I also saw it in IMAX.
So in IMAX? Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty cool there.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, nevertheless.
Well, yeah, as I said, it is lacking in a couple of things. The Catholic News Service actually gave it an A3.
A3?
A3, yeah.
What is a A3?
A3 meaning it's recommended for adults, but parental guidance is suggested.
Okay.
So it can be. It's not a movie that you would just take your children to and that's it, but you will have to kind of guide them, because there were some adult scenes there, some language that Lois Lane used, and then of course all the violence and stuff.
Which I think was uncalled for, you know.
I think they actually overdid it on the violence. They could have maybe shortened the movie so that it would have been more tolerable for people who found the movie was long, like yourself. And you know, but it got good reviews. Otherwise, I think a lot of the moviegoers who left, they gave it an A- score. I think that was Cinema Score.
All right.
IMDb gave it 77%.
Okay.
So overall, it got good reviews.
So would you recommend that someone go and see it? No.
I would recommend that people go and see this movie, especially for the comparisons with Jesus. I think it's a good story. I would not really recommend it for young children. I
Okay.
think that the violence and if they do go, definitely an adult would have to accompany them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I recommend that y'all don't go and see it in cinema and buy it on DVD and maybe take a watch at home.
Yeah. Well, this time it's out of cinema by now.
All right, so that's all the time we have for today, folks. Thanks for joining us. Some movie views. Thank you, Padre, for joining us here as well.
Thank you, Mr. Darian. All right.
All right.